Oh, hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a hypothetical scenario that's just too good to pass up. We all know Stewie Griffin from Family Guy, the diabolical baby genius with plans for world domination. But what if, instead of building a death ray or a time machine, he channeled his intellect into something a little more? 21st century. What if Stewie Griffin created his own social media video platform? Let's explore what that would look like. First off, let's talk about the name. Stewie wouldn't settle for anything mundane like VidShare or Clipworld. No, it would have to be something that reflects his personality. I'm thinking something like Domnatubi, Concavid, or maybe even the deceptively simple Stewie TV. My personal favorite, though, has to be Vitae. It's got that perfect blend of victory and visual media. The logo would probably be a stylized version of his football-shaped head, maybe with a crown or a lightning bolt. It needs to scream sophistication and power. Now, let's get into the user experience. Forget your standard like button. That's far too pedestrian for Stewie. On Victorial, you wouldn't just like a video. You'd applaud genius or acknowledge superiority. The Dislike button. It would be replaced with a declare inferior or banish to obscurity button. The algorithm wouldn't just be about engagement. It would be about intellectual hierarchy. Stewie's algorithm, which he would undoubtedly code himself in a single night fueled by apple juice and a thirst for power, would prioritize content that it deems intelligent, witty, or strategically brilliant. So, what kind of content would thrive on Victorial? Forget mindless dance challenges and pranks. The trending page on Stewie's platform would be a wild mix. You'd see videos of complex Rube Goldberg machines, tutorials on building functional plasma cannons from household items, and lectures on advanced quantum physics delivered by other prodigies. There'd be a whole category for diabolical monologues, where users could practice their most menacing speeches. Of course, there would also be a section for Rupert's Playhouse, featuring high-art stop-motion films starring his beloved teddy bear. Rupert Bees would be critically acclaimed, winning all the platform's internal awards, which Stewie would present to himself. The monetization system would be revolutionary. Instead of ad revenue based on views, creators would earn intellectual capital. A proprietary cryptocurrency, Stewie invented. This currency could be used to purchase advanced features on the platform, like a Mindra filter that supposedly makes your videos more persuasive, or to bid on exclusive consultations with Stewie himself. Of course, the exchange rate would be ridiculously skewed in his favor. He'd be a billionaire in intellectual capital within a week. Let's consider the community guidelines. They would be strict and enforced by an army of high-powered censor bots modeled after his own likeness. Any content deemed plebeian, uninspired, or overly sentimental would be instantly flagged and demonetized. Using cliches would result in a 24-hour suspension. The ultimate offense. Mispronouncing Cool Whip. Ads. A permanent ban, no questions asked. Stewie would host a weekly live stream called the Stewie Review, where he would ruthlessly critique the week's most popular and most pathetic videos, doling out scathing remarks with his signature brand of condescending wit. Imagine the rivalry with other platforms. Stewie would see YouTube and TikTok not as competitors, but as primitive relics of a bygone era. He'd launch targeted campaigns, not with ads, but with highly sophisticated psychological operations. He might create a viral video that subtly hypnotizes viewers into finding all other video apps boring. He would refer to other CEOs in his live streams as simpletons and uncultured swine. His goal wouldn't just be market share. It would be total and complete digital supremacy. But what about the family? Oh, how would the other Griffins fit into this? Peter would undoubtedly try to get famous on Victorial by posting videos of his hilarious accidents, only to have them consistently flagged for being crude and unimaginative. Lois would try to start a wholesome Mummy and Me channel, which Stewie would secretly sabotage by replacing her audio with recordings of his own evil laughter. Chris would probably find a niche community dedicated to the evil monkey. And Meg, well, Meg's videos would be systematically deleted by the censor bots, with the official reason always being existing. Brian would be the most interesting case. He'd attempt to post his deep and pretentious literary analyses, hoping to find an intellectual audience. He and Stewie would engage in epic comment section wars, too, with Stewie using his superior intellect and mastery of the platform to publicly dismantle Brian's arguments, much to Brian's frustration. Brian would probably write a scathing article about the tyranny of Victorial, which would ironically become the most applauded piece of content in critiques of the vapid category for a week. Eventually, the platform would become so powerful that governments would get involved. They'd try to regulate it, but they'd be no match for Stewie's genius. He'd have backdoors, firewalls, and digital fortresses that would make their best cybersecurity experts look like toddlers playing with calculators. He'd probably end up controlling global communications, using Victorial as the central hub for his new world order. All media, news, and entertainment would flow through his servers. The terms and conditions would slowly morph into a global constitution, and by agreeing to them, you'd be pledging allegiance to the supreme leader, Stewie Griffin. It all starts with a simple idea: a better video platform. But in the hands of a baby genius with a Napoleon complex, it becomes a tool for absolute control. Sabian masterpiece would be a masterpiece of condescending design. The algorithm, a judge of intellectual worth, and the content, a bizarre mix of genius and megalomania. It's a hilarious and slightly terrifying thought. What features do you think Stewie would include? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this little thought experiment, do me a favor and hit that applaud genius button for the algorithm. And of course, subscribe for more content like this. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.